Alright, let's talk about the next generation iPad Pro M5. When can we expect it and what upgrades might it bring? Today we're going to dive into everything we know so far to answer these questions. But before we look ahead, let's quickly recap where we stand with the current iPad Pro. The latest iPad Pro launched in May 2024, marking a significant redesign, the first major update since 2018. That's a long gap, and Apple made sure this new version stood out. One of the most noticeable changes was the form factor. The 11-inch model is now incredibly slim at just 5.3 mm thick, and the larger 13-inch model is even thinner at 5.1 mm. In fact, this makes it the thinnest product Apple has ever created, a truly remarkable feat of engineering. Another major upgrade was the display. The 2024 iPad Pro introduced a brand new tandem OLED display, making it the first iPad to feature OLED technology. Of course, it's a Pro Motion display as well, offering refresh rates of up to 120 Hz. The most noticeable exterior change to the iPad Pro is the rear camera setup. Instead of two cameras, we now have just one wide-angle camera, along with the LiDAR sensor. On the front, there's the new center stage camera, which has been moved to the landscape side instead of the portrait side. However, the standout upgrade is the introduction of the M4 chip. This marks the first Apple device to feature a chip from the M4 series, delivering incredible performance for an iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is available in two configurations. The base model comes with the M4 chip featuring an 8-core CPU composed of 3 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. For those looking for more power, there's the full-fat version with a 10-core CPU offering 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores, along with up to 10 GPU cores similar to what you'd find in the latest MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, or iMac. Storage options also impact the amount of RAM you get. Models with 256 GB or 512 GB storage come with 8 GB of RAM, while the 1 TB and 2 TB models include a generous 16 GB of RAM. Another key addition is the redesigned Magic Keyboard, which now includes function buttons at the top, a feature users have been waiting for. It also comes in new color options. Aside from these updates, the iPad Pro continues to function much like other iPads, delivering a smooth and powerful user experience. For some people, this might feel like a bit of a letdown. Many of you might have hoped to see macOS running on an iPad or for iPadOS to become significantly more advanced. Hopefully we'll hear more leaks and rumors suggesting these changes might happen in the future. But as it stands, what can we realistically expect from the next generation iPad Pro? Most of the major design elements and updates we've recently seen will remain unchanged. We'll likely still get the OLED display, the same form factor, similar cameras, and even the same battery size. Overall, the external design and key features are expected to stay consistent. The biggest change is likely to come under the hood with the introduction of the new M5 chip. While we don't yet know all the details about the M5, the M4 introduced a baseline version with 10 GPU cores, which was a significant step forward. It's likely Apple will maintain this structure for the M5 but could add a couple of extra GPU cores. Apple often tweaks its chips to balance CPU and GPU performance, so there's a chance the M5 could feature a 10-core CPU paired with 12 GPU cores. Of course, we'll have to wait for more details to confirm this. The only notable change right now is that the iPad Air with the M3 chip is the only device offering 8 GB of RAM, but only in 2 specific storage configurations. Meanwhile, all the MacBooks and Macs featuring the M4 base chip come with 16 GB of RAM as standard. This suggests that the next iPad Pro will likely start with 16 GB of RAM as the minimum. There's even a possibility that higher storage configurations could offer up to 24 GB of RAM, though we'll have to wait and see what Apple decides regarding RAM upgrades. Another potential update could involve storage. This might be the moment Apple aligns the iPad Pro with other professional devices, like the MacBook Pro, by starting with 512 GB of storage as the base option. Beyond that, most things are expected to remain unchanged. The iPad Pro will likely retain the 11-inch and 13-inch sizes, with a similar weight and up to 10 hours of battery life. One possible addition could be Wi-Fi 7, along with Apple's latest cellular chip for 5G connectivity if you opt for the cellular model. Other than that, don't expect significant changes. There won't be a new Magic Keyboard or a redesigned Apple Pencil. The existing accessories will remain compatible, and everything else is expected to stay more or less the same. Moving forward, when can we expect the iPad Pro to feature the M5 chip? Based on what we know, an iPad Air with the M4 chip is expected to launch in early 2025. This suggests that an update to the iPad Pro will likely happen sometime after that. It's also worth noting that Apple hasn't yet completed its rollout of the M4 chip lineup. For instance, the Mac Studio hasn't been updated with the M4 Max or M4 Ultra, and the same goes for the Mac Pro. These updates are rumored to arrive around the spring or summer of 2025, possibly aligning with WWDC. After that, Apple will likely shift its focus to the annual Apple Watch and iPhone launches in September. With this timeline in mind, it's reasonable to predict that the new iPad Pro with the M5 chip could debut around October or November 2025. By then, the current iPad Pro models with the M4 chip would be about 18 months old. As for pricing, the current 11-inch iPad Pro starts at $999, and the 13-inch model begins at $1,299. It's likely Apple will maintain these price points for the M5 models. While prices probably won't decrease, they're also unlikely to increase, so we can expect the new iPad Pro to stay within this range. Apple seems committed to sticking with its current direction, but there's one thing that needs attention: iPadOS. While the new iPads are exciting, Apple really needs to step up the game for iPadOS. It's time to make it more powerful and distinct, moving away from being so similar to iOS. The iPad Pro is packed with incredible hardware, yet we're not fully unlocking its potential because the operating system holds it back. Sure, iPadOS works well for devices like the iPad mini or the 10th generation iPad, but for the Pro series we need something more robust. Maybe even an option to run macOS would make a huge difference. For now, there's no indication Apple is heading in that direction, but we'll have to wait and see if any leaks or rumors surface. With that said, it's time to wrap up. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.